In this week's special and final episode, we'll be delving a little bit deeper into the thoughts of the drivers of Lexus team Petronas Toms.
In this week's special episode, we'll be talking about Petronas' talent development program. So you young'uns better stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Kazuki Nakajima.
I am Loic Duval and you are watching
Motorsport at Petronas.
The SuperGT has come to town, and for that one weekend, die-hard fans from around the region will congregate right here in Sepang. It's all about fast cars and more fast cars. Did you know this is the only race in the 2012 calendar that is raced outside of Japan? It is a tremendous honor, and it also reflects Malaysia's stature as a motorsports hub for the region. Formerly known as the All-Japan Grand Touring Car Championship, it is divided into the GT500 and GT300 category. The top class GT500 has traditionally been dominated by Japan's three giant car makers, Honda, Nissan and Toyota. Due to the GT300 regulations, the cars that compete in the category closely resemble road-going versions. At the wheel are two seasoned drivers, Kazuki Nakajima and Loic Duval. Kazuki Nakajima, a former Formula 1 driver, started go-karting professionally when he was just 11. In the 2011 season, he was crowned Rookie of the Year in Formula Nippon. Loic Duval is no stranger to the Super GT. Making his debut in 2006 in the GT500 class, Monsieur Duval has already chalked up an impressive resume. We managed to have a chat with Petronas Team Toms drivers, Kazuki Nakajima and Loic Duval right here in Kuala Lumpur. Everyone has a story, and this is Kazuki's.
I started to race in Super GT in 2011, which is last year. And before that I was racing in Europe for a long time, but after finishing in F1, I decided to come back to Japan because I was like Toyota driver, and also I used to race with Tom's team. So yeah, for me it was straightforward decision to come back to GT, and it was nice to race in GT because you have a lot of fans around, and also you have a really big competition between the manufacturers and also tire makers. And yeah, even between the drivers, it's really high-level competition. So yeah, I was quite happy to come back to GT.
So what's a Frenchman doing racing in Japan?
I was doing Formula 3 at that time in Europe, and we had like a world final in Macau. And Satoru Nakajima, who is owner of Formula Nippon and Super GT team in Japan, saw me in this race in Macau. And he offered me to do a test in Formula Nippon during the winter, and we find a way to work together. So that was at the end of 2005.
Being one of the most popular crowd puller in the Japanese race calendar, there has got to be the wow factor.
I think the main reason is because we are using the GT cars, which is manufactured from based on the normal road car which you can buy in normal life. So I'm sure it's something special for the fans, and also because we have a lot of different cars on the track. In GT500 you have 3 different cars around, and in 300 you have a lot more cars, and every car has a different speed and different characteristic, and even the different tire makes different characteristic for the cars. So you can see a lot of overtaking and the fight on the track because it doesn't happen in the Formula Car race because you all have a same car, and if the drivers' level are similar, there won't be any overtaking. So that's the difference in GT, and I'm sure it's making the race more exciting.
Racing in Super GT since 2006 gives him a huge insight on why the series is so popular.
Talking about GT car here, it's definitely the quickest GT car you have in the world. I've been racing everywhere. I saw some GT cars, I saw some DTM in Germany and stuff like that. And the Super GT is definitely the quickest car, which is great to drive for a driver. And in the other end, which is really nice, it's to share the car with someone else. It makes more like a team spirit. It's not like Formula cars or some other cars that you run just by yourself. So it's the whole thing. It's the powerful of the machine. It's the spirit of the race, and it's the overall team spirit you have to share with a teammate. That makes for me the championship and the race in Super GT really special.
Sepang is known for its scorching humidity. Staying focused is that much harder.
So yeah, when the track is really hot, for the driver it's really difficult to keep focused. But for the driver, normally in the car we have cool suits. So in the car, to be focused is not that difficult unless we get any problem on the cool suits, which will be really big problem. But yeah, on the outside of the car, it's quite difficult to keep focused all the time with such a temperature. So I think it's quite important to have like 10 minutes in a, how to say, air-conditioned room. And then if you find 10 minutes without any noise or anything, I think you can have a time to relax and then keep focused again. I mean, get back to the concentration. So I think those 10 minutes will help a lot for the drivers, and that's quite important to switch on yourself.
There's got to be a difference racing in Asia and Europe.
I would say it's mentality, people. I mean, in Asia and especially in Japan now, that people are really different mentally. They think different and they work in a way they work different. They are both really professional, but really different way of thinking. So that was the most difficult for me when I arrived from Europe. The way I was talking with the engineer, the way I was, even the way I was racing sometimes between drivers. Here in Japan is, I would say, it's more gentleman as it is in Europe. So it was difficult at the beginning to get fit in the rules, but you know, after years now it's getting better, and I think I have a good feeling with everybody. I know how to speak to anyone, and I know how to act also on the track. So now it's okay.
Natural talent is a given in this industry. There's got to be more that is needed to succeed.
Right, so yeah, in the motorsports you have so many aspects which you have to have. But apart from the talent, definitely as a driver, you have to have a discipline, because although in motor racing you don't have so much time to practice unless you have massive budget or anything. But basically, even if you are not on the track, you always have to focus on racing, and you have to keep training, or sometimes you have to like study or learn, especially the language, or study about the cars. So actually you have a lot of free times outside of the track, but it's all depending on the driver how to use it. And the way to use all those free time, I believe that it does make big difference between the drivers. So definitely you have to have a discipline. And also, as I said, because we don't have so much time to practice in the real car, it's quite important to use your brain to like have imagination on the track. So it's quite important to do kind of maze training stuff. So yeah, it's just about how to use your time outside of the track, I think.
You heard it right here, folks. Both Kazuki Nakajima and Loic Duval giving us the 411 and their personal views on Super GT.
When it comes to body paint, I mean for your car, obviously not for your body, there are a few really good tips how you can keep your car looking great. First of all, if you do get a chip, you should always take it to an authorized dealer, whatever your car manufacturer is. Obviously, if it's a Mercedes-Benz, take it to an authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer. They will do the best job and match the color perfectly. A few other tips: polish your car, make sure there's not too many scratches on it too often. And thirdly, don't drive fast through chips or stones or anything that could fly up and chip your car. Good luck.
The PETRONAS Talent Development Program is PETRONAS's campaign effort to nurture Malaysian talents and to present an opportunity to deserving individuals to excel in their field of expertise on a world stage.
Originally conceptualized through partnerships with motorsports teams in touring and endurance racing categories, PETRONAS's talent initiatives has continued to evolve. The main objective of the initiative has remained the same, that is to contribute towards the development of Malaysian motorsports, in particular its talents on 4 and 2 wheels. For example, through the PETRONAS AAM Malaysian Capri, the company has been able to support the development of Malaysian motorsports as well as nurture the development of young talents. 2012 has been a great year for the Malaysian motorsports industry, with Hafiz Sharin finishing second in the privateer category in the Campeonato de España de Velocidad Bakla in Spain and overall 6th in his rookie year, and Jasman Jaffer being crowned vice champion of the coveted 2012 Cooper Tyres British Formula 3 Championship. This goes to show that the talent development program is doing something right.
I caught up with the key players of this program in London over some tea and scones to chat about the vision that PETRONAS has for this program. Hi guys, I'm right here with Puan Anita Azrina Aziz, who's going to talk a little bit about PETRONAS's talent development program. Thank you very much for joining us today, Puan Anita.
Thank you, no problem.
In what year did PETRONAS decide to establish PETRONAS Motorsports, and why?
PETRONAS started actually in motorsports itself in late 1980s, but that was, I think, it's part of a bigger division in corporate affairs. So in 1998, that was when PETRONAS Motorsports was really set up in a proper and structured manner, as a department that only focuses on motorsports that really got started. Yeah. PETRONAS ventured into motorsports. It was when we were trying to expand in our domestic market. That's basically in the lubricants market. Yeah. We were like competing with the bigger giants, so there were some thoughts going through in the company. Said, what do we do? What can we do in order to establish ourselves as a player? Basically to brand ourselves as well. Let the market know that we're there. It's part of a marketing plan. Let's put it this way. Yeah. Right. You want people to know about you, then you need to brand yourself. And using motorsports as a platform, we found it to be really effective, because when you see the car or you see the motorbike and you think, oh, it's winning, especially if it's winning, then it's using the lubricants that the company is selling. So that's basically, the best way to market yourself.
All right. Could you, tell us a little bit about your roster of talent?
Well, we have Jasman Jaffer in British Formula 3, and we have 2 riders now. One is Hafiz Sharin. He's racing in one of the local Spanish races. We have Ramdan as well. He's a rider, and he takes part in the Asia Road Racing Championship and some races in Australia, hopefully maybe some in other countries as well. There's another group of drivers we have who race in Japan. Now that's through a team. We don't manage it per se, but through the team we have them. And through another team that's racing in JK Racing, we have one Malaysian driver as well. So those are the pool that we have. In terms of, say, Jasman, he won the championship. So you need to go to the next stage, you need to meet certain targets, right? So for Jasman, the ultimate for all of us who's been involved, we really want to see him be a Formula One driver one day. That's the ultimate objective. But every year or every 2 years, there are objectives that he has to meet. Yeah. It's like going to school or university. You need to progress one stage, you get a degree, then you do your master's. Similarly.
What's the main objective of PETRONAS's talent development program?
That's part of our contribution, to individuals, Malaysians, as well as from the country itself. It's always good to have sportsmen and people that you can look up to, and it gives. I guess that's one of the reasons, right? Yeah, and for PETRONAS, they are also a good brand ambassador.
What do you feel about how rich the talent pool is in Malaysia when it comes to motorsports?
We are involved in the Malaysia AAM Cup Premium, and that's been for many years already. And that's a very good, basically, series where we can get a big pool of Malaysians getting involved, and from there they progress to the Asia Road Racing Championship. Now, I mentioned Hafiz Sharin to you earlier. Now, he is a product of that. He won whilst he was taking part. Then he got involved in the ARC, and now he's racing in the Spanish Championship. So that's the progress they make. But they need to meet those targets again, and giving them the exposure, giving them the opportunity to race in a more competitive series. Makes them better at what they do, and more exposure.
Sure. PETRONAS has been involved in the motorsports industry for over 2 decades, etching itself in the Malaysian motorsports landscape. How important is that to PETRONAS, and how relevant is that to PETRONAS?
I think as an oil and gas company, our business is very closely related to the automotive industry. So it is definitely relevant for PETRONAS to be involved in motorsports. And we have been involved in the motorsports industry in Malaysia for quite some time now. And it started as a commercial proposition, and we developed into branding. And now we're talking about product development, product excellence. We're thinking about the customers, the product for the customers.
Well, the Malaysian motorsports industry has had an illustrious history. With the addition of PETRONAS Malaysia GP and a whole roster of young talents, do you think the country has the fundamentals to entice an even younger generation to be involved in motorsports?
I think if you look at Malaysia in the context of the neighborhood, we have been involved in motorsports as industry for quite some time. And we have a good track record, I think, in terms of motorsport involvement. And when Formula One came on the scene, we were among the first adopters of Formula One. We embraced Formula One in Asia. And I think that's just a good track record, it's a good foundation for the industry. And we need to move on from there and develop talent and grow the business and the industry as far as the motorsports is concerned.
Okay. Do you think that there's room to grow to promote Malaysian motorsports?
Definitely. I think in everything that we do, there's always room for improvement. I think we have some foundation, good foundation in terms of the industry. But as in any event, a lot of people will be involved in it. We have promoters, we have the championship organizers, we have the teams, and so on and so forth. Everyone has to work together so that we grow this industry to a higher level and so on.
What is your personal hopes and vision for the motorsports industry in Malaysia?
Well, I hope that it will grow from strength to strength, and it will develop into something that is we can all be proud of as Malaysians. And I think I need to say something about the fans. Without the fans, there's no sports. And I would like to have the fans to come out passionately and strongly in support of the motorsport industry. And of course, as I said earlier, everyone has to play the role. And that will help to build the sports to the next level that we want it to be.
Well, thank you very much, Dato, once again.
Okay.
As a major player in our country's motorsport scene, PETRONAS is ensuring the continued legacy of our Malaysian talent in the competitive world of motorsports. Now, with riders such as Hafiz Sharin and drivers like Jasman Jaafar, they all set the standard of what we Malaysians are capable of.
Hi, I'm Farid Hairuman from PETRONAS Synteam team. Chicane is a tight sequence of corners like a S-shapes. It's normally to slow down the car before a high-speed corner or the long straight line.
I'm Darren Lee. Thank you very much for joining me right here on Motorsports at PETRONAS. Now don't forget, log on to www.petmos.com.my for all the info on your favorite teams, drivers and race results. Peace out.
I am Loic Duval and I'm watching NUO.
Chicane is a tight sequence of corners.
Log on to www.petmos.com.my. Now don't forget. We went so far and then I forget.